to Dying Light. Now, I want to share something with you guys. Actually, first off, I've been doing a lot. I've been leveling up a lot. I wanted to get some good upgrades and shit. But what I wanted to say is, because my mind has been on this for a while, and that is whatever happened to Dead Island 2. Now, Dead Island is much like Dying Light, or I should say, Dying Light is much like Dead Island. Techland and Deep Silver worked together to make Dead Island, and Dead Island Riptide. Techland didn't really like the silly parts of Dead Island and wanted to take a more serious approach. So after a couple of games together, after making a couple of games together, Dead Island Riptide, basically, Techland was, you know what, fuck you guys, and they left and teamed up with Warner Brothers, and that is how Dying Light was born. They took a more serious approach. Dead Island, it's a good game, and I play a lot. I don't play it that often, but I have it. I have it on my Xbox, and it was a letdown. I mean, I thought Dead Island would be better. It didn't live up to its expectations. And in 2014, at 2014 GameCon, I think, they announced Dead Island 2. It got so many people hyped up for it. Everybody was so excited. And then we heard a lot about it, and then we kind of stopped hearing about it, and everybody was like, what happened? And then later on, I think in 2016, they announced that the game was still in what the fuck? Anyway, that the game was still in development. And then after that, people kind of lost faith because it had been quite a few years. Now it is 2019. They're saying the game is still in production. Most people have lost faith. I personally have not. But it's hard to say, really. Dead Island 2 got so much hype. It was kind of like Crackdown 3. It got so much hype, but they just kept delaying it and putting it off. So people just lost faith, and then when it finally came, people were like, nah. Everybody had moved on and everything. People had moved on and shit. But now we're hearing even more about Dead Island, that it's still in production. It does not have a producer. Nobody owns the game. So it can't be released. And it has a pre-order for it. And it says Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So I suspect that we should be seeing a little bit more on it sometime soon. And hopefully it will be released on current gen consoles. And if it is, I will definitely be checking that out. Once again, big fan of this game, Dying Light. Now, if I had to pick one type of game to play for the rest of my life, no doubt about it, it would be the zombie games. And if I had to pick one game to play for the rest of my life, no doubt it would be this game. Now the story has a lot of hate to it, and people aren't really all that excited about it. But I personally think that it is a good game. I played through the whole thing, but something happened and it put me back at Extraction. I will do that maybe in the next Dying Light live stream. But I do have fun, and I play a lot of co-op, and that's definitely fun. And I gave my friend a copy of it, and he loves it. I'm pretty sure he's gotten a little bit tired of it because we both played it a lot for like 5 hours at a time. And I did not mean to do that. For like 5 hours at a time, and I've never gotten bored of this game. Never. But with Dying Light 2 confirmed in spring of 2020, this was a hit game back in 2015 when it was first released, and I think it is still worth it today, now, especially with Dying Light 2 coming out. Unlike this game, Dying Light 2 is going to be a choose-your-own-story type game, which will be very interesting. And they said that every choice you make has an outcome to the city. And that basically you create your own story, and everybody's story, and everybody's, the way that the game plays out for them will be different for everyone. And I love that kind of game. I love the game Until Dawn. I love the game. I love the Walking Dead series. That fucking zombie. I love the Walking Dead game series. I really like, I might have already said this, but I really like Detroit Become Human. You have so many choices. The thing with Until Dawn is once a decision has been made, there's no going back. The game does not have saves. It is a one-time choice thing. And if you don't like the choice you made, too bad. Either way, it's impossible to keep everyone alive throughout the whole game. It's basically like a Saw video game with a little bit of twist to it. It's crazy. It's a good game. I did some live streams on it, and my Wi-Fi kept cutting out, so I deleted those, and I plan on doing some more of them. But they were really fun. There was there was this one dude in between all the chapters, like a psychologist, and I swear to God, he looks like a fucking rapist. That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw him. His voice, the way he looks. I'm not here to judge, but he looks like a fucking rapist. There's no denying it. But Until Dawn is very suspenseful, and I kind of get like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Fucking tell me! The game also has puzzles to it and shit. It's not, well, I mean, it's kind of choose your own story, not full on and not like most of the others. It has maybe one or two choices. But overall, it's a very, very fun game, and I recommend it if you like psychological thrillers and stuff. 1 second. I'm sorry, there we go. But Until Dawn was, I think it was made with a sequel in mind, which is going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see how it turns out. If it's even true. Hopefully it is. But I loved that game. I've played through it a couple of times, and my main problem is, okay, cover your ears if you're playing this game and you don't want a spoiler. Now, okay, I warned you. Josh is one of my favorite characters, alongside Chris, and I've tried to save him multiple times, but he just won't, so I got kind of mad about that. I didn't really like that, but once he was gone, he's gone. I fucking hate Ashley. She's the worst character in the game. I mean, I don't understand why people even like her. It's crazy stupid. I don't understand. But you know, people have different preferences. Which is, I guess, maybe, yeah, it's a good thing, but how people see different video games. And video games aren't really about having fun. They're strategetic and can make your mind work. I mean, they might not in the best, sometimes maybe not in the best ways, but definitely, and it's arguable that it kind of changes your mind. Now, some people say that video games are good for you, and some people say that video games are bad for you. Now, both can be true, but I don't really give a fuck. I love video games. And I plan on sticking with it throughout my life. And I will do so. I am subscribed to this thing, I don't know what it's called, but it tells you about upcoming games and new releases, and just informs you about it, and it's really cool. I don't know what it's called. I have to find out what it's called, but it's fun. With State of Decay 2, I gave that a try, and I just didn't like it. It's a good game and all, but it's not my type of genre game. I also like first-person shooters and open world games. I used to play a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5, and I play Red Dead Redemption 2 with my cousin, who absolutely loves the game. And I can definitely understand why. He's been wanting that game for a while, and he finally got it for Christmas. And he wants to play like all the time. I don't know, he sent me an invite to a party at like 12 at night, I think. Yeah. What happens if I go on this side? Oh, that's sad. There used to be a playground down about 20 minutes from my house, and it had this seesaw thing, and it got taken down because this one kid put because this one guy was sitting on one end, and this really, really fat kid just jumped on the other end. The kid went launching and broke his neck and elbow. So they took that down, and eventually nobody started coming. So they decided to just take the whole park down. Though I didn't go there much, it was fun when I did. But there, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, so I live really close to a library, and when I used to walk down there, I would always stop by the Chevron and get something. One time I saw this guy at the Chevron, and it was this kid, and he attempted to buy cigarettes, and the guy there actually, like, he said that they were for his dad. His dad was kind of sick and he couldn't get out of bed, so the dude bought it, and when I walked out, I saw him sitting on the curb smoking. So I looked at him, and he said, "You got a problem with it?" I said, "No, not at all." And he goes, "Then mind your own business." I said, I said that this was like a year ago. I'm trying to remember, and it was really, really funny because his reaction when he saw, oh, God damn it. When he saw me, like, he was kind of like, oh shit. But you know, I have friends who do that kind of thing, and it doesn't bother me at all. What was that? Jesus Christ. Sorry, my dog dropped his bone. I think it fell off the balcony or something. But I've also seen a kid literally walk out with a beer while the cashier wasn't looking, and it was so funny because he just sat there and he drank like 3 beers, and then I asked, and then we got a hilarious reaction out of him because, like, he was half drunk. He was probably like 12 or something. It was really, really funny, and my friend videotaped it. I didn't have my phone with me, so that was fucking hell. But yeah, they're quite weird around here, I guess you could say. But you know, yeah, I live in a weird part of town. Hobos, rich people. It's weird. It's also really popular, so it's always really, really loud. And that, I don't like loud. I like quiet. Quiet. So if my friends are being like really loud and obnoxious, I'll just get really mad at them. Which I'm already kind of mad half the time. Weird. I'm weird. I'm definitely weird. But I do some crazy stuff sometimes. Like one time, I got on the roof of the school and I tried to jump from one of the buildings to another one of them, and my foot slipped and I hit my face on the edge of it. I fell off backwards, and then my friend, whom I was racing, he looked down at me and I said, "Get lost." And so he walked and he looked back at me, and I hear, "Ah!" and I run around to the other side and he's laying there on the ground. So, and I say that's payback. I say that's what you get. He was kind of mad at me. I don't know why. I didn't do anything. But he likes to do stupid stuff and then blame it on other people. Good thing he doesn't do stupid stuff that often. I take that back. I have some interesting friends, I guess, be the best thing to say. Interesting, and, yeah, kind of, how do I put this? Stupid, dumb, fat, fucked up. That could go on forever. But, you know, you know what I say? It's better to have one good friend than to have a bunch of bad friends. Friends that aren't loyal. You want loyal, really good loyal friends. I say really good. And my best friend, he's quite possibly the nicest person. I don't see him that often. In a totally different class than me. Down the hall. He isn't in any of my classes. I do see him sometime though. They say that if you're gonna have a best friend, keep him or he or she close, be close with them, and be able to see them a lot. But I just say pick the best friend you know and call them the best friend, because that's what they are. Whether you see them once a year. Now my second best friend, he lives all the way in South Carolina. He comes about once a month, and I'm grateful that I get to see him at all. He just lives up the street from me. Well, his grandparents do. And I've come to know them really well over the years. So, that's nice. And what I think, what's that red smoke? But, hold on. Ooh. Everything around here, there are good people, there are bad people. Now, no matter what kind of person you come across, well, if you come across a bad person, just fuck them up.
Do something! What happened to this bastard? Hey, what's going on?
Okay, give me a second. How do I like that? I'll tell you how I like it. Fuck cunt. shit. I can't remember what I was saying. I've never seen someone hide out there. Never. Ooh, hot fuck. I'm coming back for you. Who's this guy?
Crane? You're Crane, right? Kyle Crane?
Yeah?
Erwin Snowberg, movie director.
You
No.
really
So
sound
it's-
like a smoking, aging SpongeBob. That's the best way I can put it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom! Die! Why aren't you dead? It didn't kill anybody. It just made them go flying. Ah! Ooh. Ah! Get in that water. Wait, that is a glitch. Go in the... Fried zombie. Oh. I didn't realize that he fell into spikes. How long have we been rolling? Okay guys, I think I'm going to end this video of Dying Light here. I'll see you all next time. Thank you for joining me in this live stream, and peace